One second. Can you see? Okay, so my name is Valentina, it's me on the photo. So I'm teaching in Quantum STEM school. This is my first year teaching first graders in Quantum STEM school with this program. And our children have English 5 days a week, so we study every day. And by the curriculum, we are supposed to take to cover all three levels. So I'm teaching a big class. That's why I'm going to talk about challenges in teaching phonics to large classes. I have four first classes, and three of them have 20 students. Somebody else has 20 students or so in the class? No? Okay. So
yes, I have.
you will say, you will share my pain. Okay, so there are challenges in teaching phonics in large classes, and I will be talking about that time, lack of materials, and lack of speaking activities. First, and I will share my ideas how to solve the problem, but this is not the ideal way. It's far from ideal. I think it's just a way how I'm sharing my experience, how I try to approach that. So first, that time. That time is the time when students are not involved in the learning activities. And that happens very often in large classes when a teacher is telling something or explaining something or doing, children are playing playing the game, and they can't, all 20 students cannot participate in playing a game. So some of the students at the back start to do weird things, like poking each other into the eye with a pen or pencil, or saying bad things to each other, starting a fight if it's the boy. So this can happen. I will give you a short video of that time in my class, but it's a very mild experience. I prepared when I was preparing to this session, I recorded a student reading, and at that time, other students were enjoying that time. So this is what happened. So the boy is reading.
More a bottle of milk. When, when she is hungry.
And here you can see,
He helps mom
this is how the dead time looks.
up.
And this is a peaceful class of 10 students. Sometimes when the class is big, strange things happen. So what my solutions? First solution is to organize the stations. The stations. For example, in the book we have sight words which students must read very fast, learn to read fast. So I wrote these words on the papers and hang around the classroom. Then, as our learning progressed, I added more different activities to the stations. For example, here you can see two students. They are reading the sight words from the flashcards. Level 1. These two students are reading the flashcards from level 2. These two students, they are revising vocabulary from the flashcards. These two students, they are asking each other personal questions, which are hanging here, like what is your name, what is your favorite color. These students are speed reading the sight words from the paper, this from the paper. Here, the student is writing what's the weather like. Here, the students are remembering the SH, CH, TH blends, the pronunciation. They have their photos when they mimic the letters, so they try to identify what letters are they mimicking. And this group of people, they play with the game with some instruction words: cut, write, draw, and so on. So they are doing it simultaneously, just in pairs. One student is a teacher, one student is a student, and one is helping the other or controlling the other. Let's watch the video, how it looks. Okay. Did you hear the sound? All right.
Yes, it was very clear. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
okay. Good.
Your
The
first
next-
grade look bigger than mine.
You mean the size?
Yeah, the
height?
size. Yeah.
Oh, some of them are bigger. They're different. So another solution is to organize the reading activity. It's still peer teaching, working in pairs. After some time, when we studied several books already, I put the books in front of them, so they can with a partner, they can take a book and help each other read this book. So here on the photo, you can see a child choosing a book. Here the child is choosing a book. And here you can see a photo of how they help each other read the book. Or this is one class, this is another class. And I would like to share a video how they do it, but I don't have a video actually reading these books. It's different books, but still the same activity. So I'd like to draw attention how involved they are in helping each other. Like these girls are friends, they're hugging each other, helping to read.
He runs.
And this class, another class, the same activity. This particular girl, her student didn't want to sit on the chair, so she is a real teacher, went with him under the table. Okay. So this is how I tried to engage all the class in reading activities and revision activities. The next problem which I encountered is lack of materials. I mean, for example, if you remember, the story which I remembered vividly is Easy and the Igloo. And in the book, there was a craft, make a igloo out of marshmallows. I was thinking, I have 80 students. How am I where am I going to get so many marshmallows? And asking parents was not the option because some of them would forget about that. Then if students do it in pairs, they are small, they want to have their personal marshmallow igloo, and they will have all these psychological problems, issues, and so on. So I was scared when I saw that. I was thinking, how can I substitute such activities with others? And I remembered my school days when we did origami. I know it's not igloo, but it's others. For example, we made a dog out of origami. Then there was a story about rabbit. We made the rabbit out of origami. And then they were very engaged, they loved it. And then in order to still keep the language focus, it was just the beginning, maybe the October, our second month of studying. And we still need to keep the language focus. And I asked them to put 3 options, like what can it be? They wrote here, door, dad, and dog. And then they tested each other. They showed the origami picture and their partners choose what is it, which word is it. So origami helped to deal. Another thing, and next, after a week, I saw a girl, she made a ton of origami dogs, so they liked it. Next thing that I used instead to deal with sight words, we use sticks, counting sticks, something that they already have in their lockers to write, to spell the sight words. Some students didn't have the sticks, so they used they had their own idea and used the pencils. So I thought, wow, great idea, we can use pencils instead of sticks. And sometimes we use threads to write the letters. So these are the options. I know it might seem very simple, but just an idea. And the last problem which I encountered is lack of speaking activities, especially in the first and second level, not a lot of speaking activities. So I found an article where and did the activity according to the article. I took this book, for example, Frank and the Fruit Lady, and drew a circle. Inside the circle, I drew main actions, what happened, events. I wrote some words to support them, like this is Frank, fruit. A heart indicates that Frank likes fruit. Every Friday they go to the fruit shop is written here. So, and I gave them, after reading and watching video, I gave them to personalize their stories. They colored the stories, and then I asked them to tell the story. And I would like to see how some students dealt with it. So
This is Frank. Frank like a fruit. Very Friday, Frank and friends go to the fruit shop. Fruit lady give orange juice. Frank right, thank you, and draws frog drink orange juice. Fruit lady like picture.
Did he memorize it, or he was just kind of coming up with the words?
As you can see here, some words are written, like every Friday is written. They go to it's not written. Fruit shop is written here. So depending on the level, you can put, to support the speaking, you can write some words. For example, here I wrote only cold because the fruit lady gave them cold drinks, and the word give if they forget. So they can construct a sentence. The fruit lady gives them orange juice. Here the word writes. Here the word a letter, that he wrote a letter. Here the word draw. So some supporting words. You can write even the sentences for those who for bigger support. Later, the article suggested that later, instead of numbers, you can include first, next, like then, to the linking, consequencing words. Yes, we read the book, we watched the video, and then I asked them to tell the story. That's all.
It's really
the same.
His skill, speaking skill, and being able to recall and formulate sentences is really impressive. Is this primary one, right?
Yes.
Really impressive.
Yes, and this is a girl from the same class, but I'm showing you the best students. Please remember, there are students who just read the words from the paper. That's all. Not all of them can do that. But after that, I asked them to go and help others tell the story. This is another strong student.
This is a friend. A friend like fools. A very Friday, Frank and Frank. Mr. Frank.
I'm not gonna show you like all of them. Okay, so she also told the story really well. Okay, so to sum up, although I had some challenges, I really enjoyed their progress in speaking and in reading first of all. And I'm going to show you how we started. Here the video from the second month of studying, where they had to just read the words and draw what they read, like draw the word that they read. And this girl, she is very strong now, but here you can see you will see her struggling with reading the word octopus. Please look.
Read. Octopus. Octopus.
So this is how they started. And this is, I would like to show you what they can do now, how they read now.
Says Harry. Let's call here Molly. Harry loves his baby sister. He gives her a pink teddy bear. He helps look after Molly. He plays.
Okay, let's watch another student.
In the nursery, it looks bright and cozy. Soon the baby arrives. It is a girl. She is very pretty. She's tiny, says Harry. Let's call her Molly.
I'm sorry that I'm not
Harry
taking the
loves
camera.
his baby sister. He gives her a pink teddy bear. He helps look after Molly.
And there's some other students, but I think that would be enough. So the results are different. Some students can read very fast. Some students still are struggling. They are in the process of learning to read. But I think I really enjoyed this program, and the fact that it's based on the stories, and there are so many things you can do with the stories. Really made the lessons enjoyable for me and for my students.
So Valentina, how many % of children right now in grade ones can read well? Or like, can you tell us more about the results, like statistically speaking?
Well, out of 20 students in the class, maybe 15 students can read really fast without any struggles. Yes, and the others have different difficulties, and it's not connected only with the phonics in English. I asked their class teachers, and they said that, and their parents, and they said that they also have problems with reading their own language. Connecting letters is difficult for them. So 15 out of 20 can read really fast.
This is good. This is a very good result. Yeah. Do you measure the reading skill in any way, quantitatively?
You mean how many words?
Yeah.
To be honest, I am against this method because I had my own personal painful experience at school where I couldn't read when I was at school. I couldn't read really fast, and that made me really discouraged to read at all, and that's why I'm not practicing like counting how many words they're reading. As long as they're enjoying and understanding it, for me that's enough. Maybe it's a wrong attitude.
Understand. Okay. Wow, I'm sorry for that experience. Yeah, I remember also struggling. It was in Russian. We were reading in Russian, and that was yeah, it's a pressure, right? It's a stress basically for the kid. Yeah.
And then when you I remember from my own experience, when I tried to read fast, I didn't pay attention to the meaning. And we are trying to teach, yes, to read them meaningfully, like to understand what really is happening, to focus on a different thing.
Yeah,
that's
a good point.
Drawback.
We actually have a presenter after you. Will be presenting a technique of measuring word counting. So okay. We'll see. Yeah, there are pros and cons basically to every method, so it's good. Okay, thank you, Valentina. This is wonderful.